If you're looking for a wireless, rechargeable microphone for your video camera, then the Pixel Lark X might be a good choice. Before we get started, just want to remind you to be sure and check out my podcast. It's called Photobomb. It's available anywhere that podcasts are found, and also be sure and join my group on Facebook. It's called Pro Photo Talk with Blu-ray Perry. We have a great community there of people talking and sharing jokes and talking about photography and asking each other questions, and we'd love it if you would join. Also, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and if you want to see all of the gear that I carry, go to my gear page. The link is right down there in the description. I list all my gear there, and if you click on one of those links and you buy something from Amazon, then I make a couple of dollars, and it helps me to keep this channel alive. All right, so today we're going to talk about this microphone that was sent to me by a company called Pixel. What they do is, a lot of companies will do this. They'll send you something and they'll say, hey, you can keep this for free if you'll just make a video about it. So I want to be right up front. This was a gift. This was a gift to me. But I'm intrigued by it because I don't do a lot of video where I need a microphone. Most of it's done right here in front of my computer because I am lazy and it's just easier for me to do it right here than it is to set up a camera and set up a microphone. And all of that kind of stuff. But I do some, and I do some on location stuff. When I work for the Professional Photography Association of America, I use a big microphone for that. And so I'm familiar with this type of equipment. I just don't personally use a lot of it. So this is an intriguing setup because, first of all, it's completely rechargeable, which is not something you automatically see when you're looking at wireless microphones for video production work. A lot of them take batteries. This is completely rechargeable, and I really like the way it's in this kit. The way it's all locked up in this box like this. But I'll tell you what. First, let's just take a look at everything that comes in the box so we can figure out what we're going to get with this thing. All right, in this box, you are going to get your transmitters, which are 2 microphones. You're going to get extended antennas for both of those microphones. You're going to get your receiver. You're also going to get a bunch of cables, which I thought was pretty cool. You're going to get 2 TRRS to TRRS cables. You're going to get 1 TRRS to TRS cable, and you're going to get a TRRS to Lightning cable, which is what you use if you're an Apple user. Now, if you haven't gone down this road yet and started using a microphone with your video yet, then you're about to get into a cable conundrum because you're going to discover there's about 4 different types of cables and you have to find just the right one. But I'm pretty sure all the bases are covered here. I think that no matter what you're using, if you're connecting to your Apple phone, if you're connecting to your Android phone, if you're connecting to your camera, I think that all of those, you've got the right cable in the kit. So I thought that was pretty cool. It also comes with a Type-C charging cable. It comes with a belt clip for the receiver. It comes with a cold shoe if you want to put it on top of your camera for the receiver. It comes with a big charging case, as I mentioned. And it comes with a USB-A to C adapter because it gives you a C to C cable. And if you don't have an adapter, if you don't have a wall socket that cable will plug into, if it only takes a USB, there's the adapter for you to put on the end. So it actually it comes with a lot of stuff. I was really surprised, and the price on this is pretty economical. So I was surprised at how well built everything seemed. And this case right here, this thing's rock solid, right? And the case that it all comes in is nice as well. So you take this and you put it in here like this, and you put all your cables up here and you zip. I mean, that's a very nice, compact, I'm always doubtful when I get sent stuff like this because I'm like, but then when it arrives and I check it, I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is like heavy duty. It's not real cheap plastic or anything. So right off the bat, I was impressed by that. Well, enough talking about it. Let's take a look at some videos that I made using this microphone and see what happens. All right, so now we're outside and we can test this with a little bit of ambient noise. There's a weed whacker right over there, and there's a highway right over there, and there's a little bit of a breeze, but not too much. Now, there is an ambient reduction feature on these microphones, and all you have to do is press this button to make it come up. So let's see what happens when I press this button. Now, hopefully, I've just switched into a different mode. I don't know. Does it sound different to you? All right, I'm going to try it again. Here we go. It says you only have to press it one time, and when I was testing it earlier, I seemed to be pressing one time. There's a little icon, and you can see it change color when it changes to a more noise suppression mode. So here's what it sounds like outside, walking around. I'm about, I'd say maybe 10, 12 feet camera right now, and this is a good test of what it could be used for in an outdoor environment. All right, so now we switched out the mic and we have put the Rode shotgun mic on top of the camera. So now the weed whacker is still going over there, and that's kind of backed off a little bit, but maybe you can hear it, maybe not. I don't know. But this is probably the most common thing that people will use is a shotgun microphone. And they like to use it because with a shotgun microphone, if anyone enters your scene, if you're a blogger or something like that, people can enter your scene and you can record everything that you're seeing. Whereas when you're using a lavalier mic or a hook-on mic like the one we're trying today, well, you've got to have a microphone on them, or you've got to be able to take it off quickly. Which, by the way, is one of the things that I kind of like about this microphone, is that if you were recording, let's pull this out of my pocket real quick. If you were recording and using this microphone here clipped to you, and then suddenly someone came up that you wanted to talk to, you could quickly unclip it and just use it as a handheld mic, right? You could talk, you know, let me ask you a question, or go something like this. Still not as convenient as using this shotgun mic right here, but the problem with the shotgun mic, of course, is if you walk away from the camera, like for instance right now, I imagine that you're hearing some different volume levels as I move around, but if you're using a lavalier mic, you know, this isn't really happening. So there's going to be pluses and minuses to both of them. And the question is this a good microphone for your purposes? So in an attempt to better hide this microphone, I have now put it inside my shirt. So let's see what this sounds like. Does it sound worse? You know, is the shirt muffling the volume too much, or is it maybe actually acting as a little bit of a dead mouse, or a dead cat? I'm sorry. Well, in this case, it would be a dead mouse because it's a very small microphone. It might actually be a good plan to put it right next to my body like this. I don't know. We just want to find out what this sounds like. Let's take it out now. There we go. Put it back on the outside. And this is where it is normally, sitting right outside on my shirt. This is where you would have it. Now, I was talking about the suppression modes, the noise suppression modes a minute ago, and let me just walk in here closer. There are two noise suppression modes on this microphone, and one of them is always engaged. So the default is a low suppression noise. Can you hear the dog barking next door? The default is a low suppression noise, which is like a standard suppression noise, and then if you click the button one time, it goes into a high suppression, which takes out your high noises and things like whining and things like a weed whacker, which is not going anymore, by the way. So earlier when I checked that mode, you could hear how all the tinniness got dropped immediately out once I turned it on and the weed whacker came down. But I guess the downside is that when you're using it in regular mode, I feel like there's not a lot of bass because I feel like maybe the suppression is a little bit much on the low end. And I suspect that it was done that way because this isn't a microphone that you put a dead cat onto, right? You don't put a big puffy ball on the end of this, so they're trying to do the suppression inside the microphone. I really don't know, but that's my first guess, because most of the time if you're working outside, you're going to have a dead cat, you're going to have a foam ball, you're going to have something on the actual microphone to help you suppress some of the ambient noise. So this is about 60 feet. I'm about 60 feet away from the camera right now, and we're testing the range to see just how long the range on this microphone will reach. And now I'm going to go back a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's about another 30 feet. So now maybe 30 feet away from the microphone. And in my pocket, I have the extension that you can put on the microphone. So let's go ahead and put that on. Now that's a microphone that's supposed to help you with the antenna and give you a better connection. So let's just see how far we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is about 40 strides, which would be 8 to 120 feet, something along those lines, about a 3-foot stride. And well, I'm pretty far away. I'm 2 houses away now, and if you can still hear me, then we're getting a pretty good range with this microphone. I don't even know if this extended antenna right here is necessary at this point. We maybe have to even be further away before it becomes necessary, but if you can still hear me pretty good right here, then I'm pretty impressed with the range on this microphone. So what have we learned from our first look video of this particular wireless rechargeable microphone for your camera? Well, I think that when we tested them outside versus the Rode boom mic or shotgun mic, I think that when you're standing close to the camera, that the Rode shotgun mic is a better audio. I think it sounds a little more real, a little more authentic, a little more organic. So if you're shooting video where you're right up on your camera, you're holding the camera in your hand. A lot of times bloggers are holding the camera in their hand. Then I think that those boom mics, those shotgun mics are great because you just mount it on the top and go and do whatever you want. Other people can come in and you're fine. But if you are going to be away from your camera, if you're going to step away from your camera, if you're going to walk around in your scene, something like that, then you might want to go with something like this. I don't think the sound quality is necessarily as good, but it can do things that the Rode cannot do. You can put this on, you can put it on somebody else, and you can walk around a scene. You can have noise or ambient noise or whatever, and it's a little bit of a trade-off, right? So I think that versus the shotgun mic, it's a good backup to have. It's $199, so it's not expensive to have this and the shotgun mic, depending on what you want to use these things for. We also learned it's got great range. I was really impressed with the range. I don't think I needed the extension. When I put the extension on there, yeah, I think I was fine. I was like 120 feet away. The manual says it's 60 feet is as far as you can go. But I got to figure I was at least 100 feet away, if not 120 feet away, and it was working just fine. So I was very, very impressed by that. One of the things I don't like is that nowhere does it tell you how long the charge life is. I looked all through the manual, and I can't find anywhere where it tells you this is how much time you will get. And I suppose it depends a great deal on how much audio is being pushed through the microphone. That probably is what burns your battery down pretty fast. So I didn't have any problem with it today, shooting the videos that I was shooting, and there's probably 3 videos I shot that I didn't show you because I screwed them up. So, so it was fine for my purposes today, and you can always recharge it. But if you're somebody who's doing a lot of video during a day, then you might want a microphone system that uses batteries so you can just swap the batteries out in the middle of your shoot. However, if you're not a big documentary photographer, having rechargeable is just great because it's one less thing you have to worry about. You can just plug it in and charge it. And, I really like the case. I really like the way that it charges up. So let's talk about the pros and the cons. Here's what I learned today. First look at this equipment. The Pro. I like the case. It seems to be sturdy. Seems to be well built. I like that it's rechargeable. Right? The rechargeable feature is great. I like that it has a long range. I like that it can be used handheld. Right? You can just hold it in your hand back and forth. So you can quickly take it off and go handheld if you want to, which is not something you can do with a lavalier mic. Have you ever seen somebody do that where they try and pull it out? Yeah, right. You can just, hey, right? So if you were doing some sort of a live interview situation, it'd be easy to pull it off. Another thing you can do, which is kind of cool, on the bottom here, the jack's on the bottom. So one of them is a headphone jack, so the person who's running your camera can hear the audio and make sure it's good. One of them is the output jack that goes to your camera, and then the other one is an input jack. So if you wanted to have audio that was coming in and playing over what you're saying, you could input it using this jack. That includes audio from another microphone set. So if you were interviewing 4 people, if you had 4 people on a microphone, if you had 2 of these, you could take one and daisy chain it right into this one and then daisy chain this one into your camera. See how that works? So you can hook them up in a chain and have 4 or 6 or 8 of these microphones in play all at the same time. That's pretty cool. I can't imagine that you would need that many microphones, but it's pretty cool. So let's talk about the cons. I don't know how long the battery lasts, and that could be a huge deal breaker depending on what you're going to use this for. I'm not really impressed with the noise suppression. Yeah, I get it. Noise suppression is tough, but the standard noise suppression that's always running, it just seems a little tinny to me. I would like it to be a little bit better. I guess I'm spoiled because I'm used to using a big microphone like this when I'm making my videos, and I was a radio professional for years, so I really pay attention to that stuff. But I think if you were making videos for YouTube and stuff like that, I really don't think that it would matter. If that was your microphone all the time, I don't think people would care. Right? Because, the audio that I get on this microphone is good compared to that, but it's not as good as it could be. There's better microphones than this, but you don't care because you don't hear me on those microphones. See how that works? So I don't think it's a big issue, but just the audiophile in me, is always worried about how things sound. It's not indiscreet like a lavalier mic. A lavalier mic, you just have that little cord, little thing right here. On the minus side, that lavalier mic, then cord has to run down. You have to put that on your belt, or you have to put it in your pocket, or you have to put it on your back hip, and you have to be careful that you don't sit down and have it jam into your stomach or whatever you're doing, and you've got to take it on and take it off, and that's kind of it's not a big deal, but I don't know. I do really like that you can just grab this thing, take one out, You can just grab this little thing and just, all right, let's go. I'm ready to go, right? That's kind of cool. I like that. It's not as discreet as it could be, of course, but it is, I think, I do like the shape and the design of it better than Rode. Rode makes one of these as well, where you just have a little mic and you can just clip it on, but it's square. And I think this looks more like a microphone than that square. Now, here's one thing that Rode does do with their microphone that I really wish they had done here is their microphone, you can plug a lavalier into it. You can plug a cord into that and run it as a lavalier mic. And it's a shame they didn't do that here. If they could have just put a jack into this where you could plug a lavalier and then you could just take this and it could be your transmitter and you could run the lavalier. If you wanted to do that, you could use it also as a lavalier mic as opposed to having to buy a second lavalier system. All said and done, well, I got to tell you, I like it and I'm going to keep it. Sometimes people send me stuff and I don't like it and then I just give it away or I sell it. But this, I'll get some use out of this at some point. And at the price point of $199, it's a bargain. Well made. I'll keep it charged up. It'll be ready to go. I can just toss this in my suitcase if I'm going on vacation. I think I might want to do some recording with a microphone. So be sure and check it out. And be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching.